Hi viewers, this is Bala sir's physics class. Now we are going to discuss Ohm's law from electricity. What is the Ohm's law? First we will discuss law. According to Ohm's law, the current flowing through the conductor or wire is directly proportional to the potential difference across its two ends of the conductor. That is, we can write as P is directly proportional to I. Okay, so if you remove the proportionality, then you will get constant, that is V equal to I into R. Here R is proportionality constant, and also here it is named as resistance. Okay, now this is Ohm's law. When it is applicable, there are some limitations for this. What are the limitations? for this? The limitations are some physical conditions like temperature must be constant. Which temperature? Room temperature. While you are verifying the Ohm's law, it should be constant. Temperature must be constant. If temperature is not constant, maybe there is a change in the verification of Ohm's law can take place. Okay, at different temperature, different results we may obtain. Now, if we go for the verification, we have a circuit diagram to draw. The circuit diagram, if you draw, usually in Ohm's law experimental verification, we'll connect a battery. This large line is plus symbol indicates negative, is positive and negative. This is a battery B. Okay, this positive end connected to the one resistor, which is unknown resistor. This resistance value we are going to find. Okay, and this is connected, negative end is connected to the rheostat. It also can be variable resistor. Okay, from there again we have ammeter is connected, and we can connect one key or switch in the middle. Okay, now one complete loop has finished. Now positive to negative, there is a current flow direction here. Here we will connect the voltmeter by the parallel connection, means this is a bypass way. Okay, this is a series connection, this is a bypass way. Across the ends of the resistor we are connecting. Now we are going to verify the Ohm's law across this resistance. Okay, so this is a complete circuit diagram. First we need to connect in the circuit. Here battery, we will use at different voltages, 2 volts, 4 volts. We will put a constant and we will supply the voltage to the circuit. Now while you are supplying the circuit, we will obtain the voltage value across this resistance by voltmeter, nothing but terminal voltage we can say also. Okay, after on the switch. Now current value we can obtain from the ammeter. Then we have a rheostat. This rheostat gives us variable resistance, means once 2 volts if you on from the battery, then 2 volts supplies in the circuit. Okay, there are some values we will obtain. While you are gaining the values in a voltmeter and ammeter, if you change the value of rheostat, if you decrease the rheostat, let voltage across the resistance will increase. If voltage will increase as per the Ohm's law, current in the ammeter also will increase. So is that increasing proportionally? We need to verify. Okay, for that we are having a tabular form, like if you take a serial number and voltage in terms of volts and ammeter value in terms of amperes, nothing but this is current, amperes. Next we are obtaining the resistance, that is in terms of ohms. We'll make a tabular form like this. Okay, we'll draw a tabular form as practically. Now once you connected the circuit practically with the tightened connections, the connection must be tight, we should take care about that, and the resistance also, it should not be get rusted and all, everything will be smooth to handle and to tighten the wires, and even rheostat also will become very should be fresh while you are connecting. So therefore we will obtain the values very smoothly and easily from the circuit diagram. Let us say first, at constant 2 volts of battery is on. Okay, so now that time at constant 2 volts of battery, what you have to get some value, 2 volts you are obtaining in the voltmeter across the resistance. Then current you have obtained, let us say 0.1 amperes. Okay, so voltage also if you take is a very less value, then like 0.2 volts you can take up. Now second value, a 2 volts constant battery only. Now what I am doing, I am decreasing the rheostat, therefore current flow increases in the external circuit. I am decreasing the rheostat, means how I can decrease on rheostat, there is a jock which slides. Okay, while you are sliding other side, then the value of the rheostat will be decreases, means resistance will be decreases, therefore flow of current will increase. Now this will be increases to 3 volts, slowly I am increasing. Okay, now the current may increase to 2 amperes. Okay, like that. This is 2 values I have taken. At 4 volts also I can take up, at 6 volts also I can take up. That's as per the battery capacity, and wire should not be get heated. If you are using high voltages, the high amount of current will flow, therefore the wires get melt and the smell will come out, or battery may get damaged. So use less voltage, 2 volts or 4 volts is so better to obtain the values practically in the Ohm's law. Now I am using 2 volts, I am continuing with that only. Third, it has increased to 3 or 4 volts I have increased. Now it has increased to 0.25 amperes only. Fifth one, 0.5 volts I have increased. Okay, means I ensure that in voltmeter I am increasing 1 unit as my wish. Okay, therefore I am obtaining the value in a current like this way. Now I got here 0.75 amperes. Okay, so next, here I have increased 0.5 to like 0.7 I have increased. Therefore I am obtaining here this is 0.25, 0.275 it will become. Now I got here 0.4 amperes directly. Okay, means my aim as per the Ohm's law, what is the aim? If we are increasing the potential difference across the wire, current flowing through the wire also should be increased. So the value is, if you see, goes on, it is increasing. By using these values, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, you will get, theoretically if you calculate theoretical values, you will get, you take up the R average of total value. This we call as theoretical value of resistance. The same values I'll use the same values and I'll obtain a graph. The graph is most important because the graph only makes you understand how it gets verified, whether it is correct or not. Means if it is basically from the Ohm's law graph, in the sense you can take it as I versus V, you will get conductance, or this is IV graph I am taking. What is that? IV graph. So the values, if you take across x-axis, y-axis, the voltage 0, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, means here 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 0.5, like 0.6 volts. In terms of volts I am taking. Okay, same way in terms of amperes along the y-axis I am taking. It started 0.1 ampere, no? So 0.1 and so 0.2 and 0.3, little up if you are taking 0.4 also. Now as per the graph, if you are taking 0.2, where is that? First for the 0.2 volts 0.1 ampere means here you will get. For the 0.3 volts 0.2 means it will become straight like this you are getting here. Okay, means one point here, another point is here. At 0.425 means little here. Next for the 0.5275 means near to 3. Then for 0.7, okay, for the 0.7 where you got at 0.4 means slowly if you draw a line you will get a straight line. Means some few points, 1 or 2 points will go like a side, exactly will not come on line. This is correct, this is correct, this is little aside. Means you should get like this. All the points should not get on the line. We should get the graph slanting line like this only. That is the correct graph. At the same time, all the points, maximum points will come on the line. Few, 1 or 2 points will come other side. Then only that is a correct experiment. Because physicists usually find out easily. The people, students do while doing practical, they'll draw directly however it is increases. Randomly they'll write the values. But they will find, they'll caught by the teachers. Why? By doing these type of mistakes. It must be 1 or 2 get mistake, because nobody perfect. Usually 100% as well as environmental errors also applicable. Temperature changes comes, so 1 or 2 values and measurement while you are taking measurement errors also takes place. That's why. So I versus V graph gives the conductance. What is that? Conductance, that is equal to reciprocal of resistance. Now indirectly here you are finding the resistance. So you got the resistance. As per the Ohm's law we are having the resistance only the proportionality constant. So if I increases, V also increasing. That shows this graph. If this type of graphs, if you get the graphs like it can be I versus V or V versus I, you should get slanting straight lines. This is conductance, this is resistance. Okay, so if you are getting the graphs other than that, like I versus V or V versus I, like this you are getting. Okay, curved lines like this you are getting. These all non-ohmic graphs we call. Non-ohmic graphs, or the substance which I have used as a resistance is non-ohmic conductor we can say. Okay, so these all ohmic graphs. What we call? Ohmic graphs. Which are called ohmic, which are called non-ohmic? The substance which obeys the Ohm's law is called as ohmic conductors. The substance which does not obey the Ohm's law is called non-ohmic conductors. Finally, we have verified Ohm's law by practically also. Okay, thank you very much. This is our Ohm's law. Usually here non-ohmic conductors are diodes, triodes or examples. Ohmic conductors are normal conductors or normal resistive materials which we are using as a resistance. In such cases we can find out. Okay, once again thank you for seeing my videos. Please subscribe and give me your valuable feedback to improve more.